The DC Universe is known for its iconic superheroes, thrilling action sequences, and unforgettable moments that have left audiences on the edge of their seats. However, with great success comes great failure, and the DCU is no exception. From Ryan Reynolds failing to make an impact in Green Lantern to the highly anticipated Justice League, these are the biggest flops in DCU history. Let's start with the one we all know and surely don't love. Oh, Catwoman. Where did it all go wrong? The year was 2004, and Halle Berry stepped into the sleek leather suit to portray this iconic anti-heroine. But alas, this adaptation missed the mark in more ways than one. It's like they forgot to consult the comic book fans, leaving us scratching our heads and wondering, what were they thinking? Instead of embracing Catwoman's intricate backstory and her tantalizing connection to Batman, the filmmakers decided to take a sharp turn into uncharted territory. They transformed our beloved feline femme fatale into, wait for it, a lowly cosmetic company worker. Yeah, you heard that right. From a cunning cat burglar to a cog in the corporate wheel. Talk about a perfectly missed opportunity. Now let's talk about the critics, shall we? Be prepared for the vicious claws of negativity to pounce on this movie. It's not every day you come across a movie that manages to achieve a mind-boggling 9% approval rating on the renowned Rotten Tomatoes. Ouch! It's like the critics had sharpened their claws and were ready to pounce on any shred of hope this film had left. But the disappointment didn't stop there. Oh no, it hit the box office where it hurt the most, with a worldwide gross of a mere $82 million. Catwoman failed to recoup its lofty budget of $100 million. The financial flop was felt far and wide, leaving the studio executives scratching their heads and wondering if they should have invested in a few more scratching posts instead. It's a shame, really. Catwoman had the potential to be a thrilling and captivating addition to the DC Universe, yet it fell victim to misguided decisions, leaving fans with a bitter taste in their mouths. But fear not, fellow superhero enthusiasts. Let this be a lesson to all future filmmakers. Always remember to stay true to the essence of the character, and for the love of all things holy, consult the source material. Now let's turn our attention to another superhero disappointment that had high hopes riding on its lantern-clad shoulders. Warner Brothers went all in with a whopping $200 million investment in the production of Green Lantern. With such a hefty budget, they clearly believed they had a winning formula on their hands. After all, this was the character's first foray onto the big screen, following a legacy of success in comic books and on television. Enter Ryan Reynolds, the charismatic actor chosen to bring the Green Lantern to life. With his charm and wit, he seemed like the perfect fit for the role. But unfortunately, even Reynolds' best efforts couldn't save this film from becoming a box office letdown. It mustered a mere $219 million worldwide, leaving many scratching their heads and wondering where it all went wrong. Sure, the worldwide gross may have surpassed the film's production budget, but let's not forget the estimated $100 million spent on marketing. When you do the math, it's clear that Green Lantern was still a major financial flop. The studio executives must have been left reeling, wondering how their lantern lost its glow in the eyes of the audience. To add salt to the wound, the film ended with a hint of a sequel, teasing a continuation of the Green Lantern saga. But alas, those plans were quickly snuffed out like a candle in the wind. The poor performance of the film put an end to any hopes of seeing more lanterns light up the big screen. Now let's dive into the realm of female-led superhero movies and shed some light on the ill-fated journey of Supergirl. It's worth noting that Supergirl holds a significant place in superhero movie history, as it was the first feature-length film to cast a female as the lead. With its groundbreaking potential, it seemed poised to soar to new heights. However, as we all know, not every flight is destined for the skies. In this film, we follow the story of Kara Zor-El, a Kryptonian who embarks on a mission to retrieve a powerful orb on Earth. Along the way, she transforms into Supergirl and faces off against the wicked witch Selena. It had all the elements for a thrilling adventure, but unfortunately, it failed to take off with audiences. One notable absence that left fans scratching their heads was the absence of Superman himself. Despite existing in the same universe as Christopher Reeve's iconic portrayal of the Man of Steel, Supergirl's journey unfolded without the presence of her renowned cousin. This departure from the established continuity was a puzzling choice, leaving viewers longing for that familiar connection. The only tenuous link Supergirl had to its superhero predecessors was through actor Mark McClure, who reprised his role as Jimmy Olsen. But alas, it wasn't enough to salvage the film from its critical and commercial downfall. With a meager $14.3 million gross against a production budget of $35 million, Supergirl proved to be a costly misstep. Sadly, the repercussions of Supergirl's failure extended far beyond its box office numbers. It left a lasting impact on the industry, causing closed-minded studios to grow wary of producing more female-led superhero films for decades to come. It was as if Supergirl's wings were clipped, preventing other female heroes from taking flight on the big screen. But fear not, for the tides are changing. Recent years have seen a resurgence in female-led superhero movies, proving that the industry has evolved and embraced the power of diversity. It's important to acknowledge the hurdles faced in the past, learn from them, and continue to push for equal representation in the superhero genre. Speaking of Supergirl, it's only fair we mention her male counterpart. Christopher Reeve, the embodiment of Superman himself. His portrayal of the Man of Steel is legendary, often hailed as one of the greatest interpretations of the iconic DC character. But let's face it, folks, we can't ignore the elephant in the room, the third and fourth Superman films. It's like we collectively decided to put on our rose-tinted glasses and pretend they never happened. Superman 3 didn't fare much better with critics, but it managed to salvage some dignity at the box office. However, the real disaster struck with Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. The film's domestic gross fell far short of its $17 million budget, leaving the studio and investors scratching their heads in bewilderment. Looking back, it's clear that Reeve himself had regrets about being involved with the film, and who can blame him? Even by 1987 standards, Superman 4 was painfully corny. It's like they took a giant leap into the realm of cheesy dialogue, questionable special effects, and an overall lackluster storyline. Superman deserved better, and so did the loyal fans who eagerly awaited his return. As a result, Man of Steel vanished from the big screen for almost 2 decades. It wasn't until 2006 that we finally witnessed Superman's triumphant return, revitalized in the form of Superman Returns. But let's not dwell on the missteps of the past. Instead, let's appreciate the lessons learned and the strides taken to bring Superman back to his former glory. For our final segment, let's end with the big one. One of the most anticipated superhero team-ups of all time is the Justice League. With its staggering production budget of $300 million, it's easy to assume that the film raked in massive profits at the global box office, which reported a total of $675 million. But hold on tight, folks, because there's more to the story than meets the eye. You see, the studio conveniently leaves out the number of additional costs when disclosing the box office numbers. We're talking about marketing expenses and talent residuals, which can amount to a significant chunk of change. When these factors are taken into account, film analysts speculate that Justice League, at best, could have just about broken even. At worst, it might have resulted in tens of millions of dollars being lost. Ouch! But financial disappointment is not the only bitter pill to swallow. Justice League holds the unfortunate title of being the lowest grossing movie in the DC shared universe to date. Let that sink in for a moment. This was the first live-action film to unite the mighty Justice League on the big screen, a monumental event that fans had been eagerly waiting for. And yet, it fell short of expectations, leaving us with a sense of missed potential. It's undeniable that Justice League should be marked as a major disappointment, given the weight of its significance and the immense resources poured into its production. But hey, let's not lose hope just yet. The world of superheroes is a resilient one, and with every disappointment comes the opportunity for redemption. We'll keep our fingers crossed for the Justice League iterations that capture the essence of these beloved characters and deliver the epic team-up adventure we all deserve. As fans, we'll continue to support the ever-evolving DC shared universe, knowing that even the mightiest heroes face their own trials and tribulations.